bias. Everybody's got them. We just got to recognize it before we can change it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Kaplan, how does a person start a conversation with somebody at work about race?
So the first thing is this: you can't just, because it's a difficult conversation. I know many of you are on this line, and it's like, how do we start the conversation? You don't just go up to someone and say, "Hey, you want to talk about race?" You don't do that. You have to really think through. It's a thoughtful conversation, because if you're a leader, you can either engage your team, your colleague, your workforce by a very thoughtful conversation, or you can create more angst, and more disruption in your organization because people are offended because you're having the conversation. I believe you have to do three things. One, you have to first create what I call a safe zone, a brave zone, and a respect zone. A safe zone, a brave zone, and a respect zone. And what that means is
Mm-hmm.
you have to create, a safe environment that says, hey,
Right.
love to learn, right? If a safe environment says, I want to learn, because if I can learn more about your struggle, your experience, what you face, I can help be an ally to do something about it. So that's the first thing, is create a safe environment. Safe comes from learning. So for those that are on the listening, on this webinar, the first question you have to ask yourself is, what is it that I want to achieve and learn from a conversation on race with someone that may be of a different race or culture than my own? So that's one, and it comes from empathy. So leaders have to have empathy during this time. And empathy says, it says, instead of saying, how are you feeling, given everything that's going on in the world globally, empathy says, if I were in your shoes, what would I be feeling? It's a very different thing, just how you're feeling. It's, if I were in your shoes, and it's all about stepping in someone's shoes. So a safe zone says, what can I learn? A brave zone says, you got to ask the tough questions and the courageous questions. You have to say, I don't know, but I want to understand. What is it that you are dealing with as it relates to how you are feeling at work? What is it that, is it true that people feel that because everything's going on in our communities and our societies, it brings up the inequity at work, and you come to work not only just to do your work, you come to work with this burden of being the only, the only person of sub-Saharan African descent, or the only Asian person in the room, or the only indigenous person in the room, or the only one who speaks this language, or the only Hindi in this room, the only Muslim in this room. Oftentimes you come to work with an extra burden beyond your work. But if you don't take the time to understand that, or the courageous conversation, say, what is it that you experience being a Muslim at work?
Mm-hmm.
That's a courageous conversation, but it's a conversation that gives you a chance to really learn and explore. And then you have to have a respect zone, and a respect zone says, listen, I will admit I don't know, but I'm going to learn, and whatever I learn, I'm going to use it to be a better colleague, a better ally. So first thing is create a safe space, a safe zone, a brave zone, and a respect zone.